Hello, hi, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy holidays to you that are celebrating. And today I'm going to be cooking a nut roast. You'll see I've got a previous recipe here, or here, for example, where I talk about nut roast with fish stock. Today I'm going to be doing nut roast with vegetable stock, which is delicious. So my ingredients here, I'm going to talk you through what it is I've got butter, I've got onions, I've got celery, I've got chestnut mushrooms, I've got red pepper, I've got carrot, I've got the seasoning, which is paprika, oregano, salt, pepper, for example, whatever, cayenne pepper, whatever you want to put in there to give it a kick is fine. And also some fresh parsley, some red lentils, and I've got breadcrumbs as well as some nuts to make the nut roast. I've also got the vegetable stock here, which is 300 grams of water, for example, with the veg stock cube as well. I've also put in the frying pan right now, which is 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I've chosen that, and also I've got butter, which I'm about to do now. So first I'm going to put it into the frying pan and we'll start cooking. So you'll hear some sizzling going on shortly as well, so it's melting nicely, and I can turn that up now. Perfect. Just turn that up a bit so we can get some sizzling going on here. And this is perfect for any occasion, really. It's not just for the holidays. This is perfect any time of the year. You can have it hot or cold. It even goes really nice in a sandwich as well. And it's also very cheap as well. So it will make quite a lot, and it can feed a family of, I'd say, probably 9 people, for example. Now, whilst that is cooking, I'm going to show you one of the things, which is, I've just got a foil tin here with the greaseproof paper, which I'm going to put the mixture into once it's ready, and then I will then put it into the oven and make sure it's pressed down. But I just wanted to show you that briefly. So that's now sizzling away. So now I'm going to add the celery. And then I'm going to add the onions as well. It's a lot of onions here, but I like a lot of onions. So I'm just let that cook until it's translucent. And then I will add the other ingredients as well. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I hope that you're having a wonderful holiday. But like I said, this is not just for the holiday season. This is all year round. It's a vegetarian dish which is perfect for every day of the week. And you know what? And it's so cost effective as well, because once you put it into that tin, you can, take it out throughout the week, for example, and just have nice slices of that as well. But I'm cooking this today to go with our turkey dinner, for example. It can go with chicken. My husband is vegetarian, so he just eats vegetables, should I say. But like I said, I like to have meat-free days as well, because it's so good for us to just have a break from meat as well. So now that is cooking nicely, excellent. What I will do now is I will then add the next ingredients, which is, for example, I've done the butter, I've done the onion, for example, and I'm now about to add in we've got garlic and we've got mushrooms. So I'm going to add them both in together. because that's been cooking for a couple of minutes. And just let that infuse. Smells delicious. Then I'm going to add the mushrooms. I'm looking forward to doing the cookings for the CEOs, as well as professionals, as well as busy mums or single people that want to eat for very healthily, but also to be mindful of what we spend as well. You know, we tend to have a lot of takeaways, and well, we don't, but a lot of people tend to have a lot of takeaways, and you know, it's costing a fortune when we're doing that, and it's not healthy for us either. I'm not saying not to have the odd one now and again, but you know, if you are a CEO or you're working, for example, or even if you're not working, you need to have that energy to be able to function effectively during your day, and by eating and putting the right things into your body is going to really boost your day and help you to be productive as well. So I'm just going to add in the red pepper, just adding everything in. Oh, what a smell. Lovely. Absolutely delicious. Look at these colours. Ooh, nice. Excellent. I can see a lot of people enjoyed the quinoa burgers. So thank you for your feedback on that. And look, I've said it the right way as well. So I'm just going to add the carrot now. You can see the frying pan, you can see this cooking nicely. And it, you know, when it's the weekend, you can cook these things, and then you can just, you know, have them in the fridge, or you can put them in the freezer, just pull them out when you need it, section them into bags so that you've got it ready for when you come home. For example, if you are working full time, for example. Right, I'll just get the next ingredients now. And use my Christmas spoon. Got a little elf with Christmas gift boxes on there, which I think is cute. I'm gonna now add the seasoning as well. As you can see here, fresh parsley, for example, and also the seasoning. So I'm just adding that in together. And just give that a stir so it all mixes in lovely, and then I'll be adding in the lentils as well, and it will be cooking nice and slow. It's just delicious. Just mix it all together so the flavours all mix together and infuse. So now that's all mixed in. What I will do now is I'm going to add the lentils here as well. These are the red lentils. So colourful. Delicious. Smells lovely. I'm just going to I might do a live where I'm actually cooking so that we can all cook together. How would you like that? Let me know if you'd like me to do a live of me cooking, and then you get the ingredients and you cook along with me and we can make the meals together live. And comment and you can say what's happening. So I'm just making sure it all mixes in together nicely before I then add the vegetable stock, for example, and the tomato puree. So now that it's cooking nicely, what I'm going to do is I've now got the tomato puree here, which I'm going to add, and the stock. I'm just adding that just to give it a nice flavour. This also helps it to be juicy as well. This really goes well together. So I'm just mixing it all in. And then I'm going to add the stock. Flatten it out a bit. Just evens it out. And now I'm going to add the stock. And then it will cook for a while. So this is the vegetable stock. So now that I've added the vegetable stock, I'm just going to let you have a look at that so you can see. And now I will leave this to cook. So it cooks those beans, those lentil beans for example, and I'm going to put a lid on there and turn it down slightly as well. So I'm just going to get a lid. So just carry on looking at that. I'm just going to cover it with a lid like that, you see. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll let that cook I'll turn it down so it simmers first, and then I will then add the lid to it. So the lentils and the mixture here, it needs to be cooked for about 25 minutes. It depends how strong your cooker is, for example, but it needs to absorb this water so that, you know, the liquid, so that you've got a nice consistency and it's cooked the lentils correctly. So just, you know, keep your eye on it. I mean, I've just stirred it again because I just like to stir things, but you know, you keep your eye on it and just let it cook for 25 minutes until it's absorbed the liquid, and then it'll be ready for the next step, which will be to add the breadcrumbs and the nuts, for example, and then put it into the tin. Hello, hi, so I'm back. It's now cooked. I've now got to let it cool now for probably about another 15-20 minutes, for example. Then once I've done that, once it's cooled down, I will then add the cheese, the breadcrumbs and the nuts, and I've got 3 beaten eggs here that I will add, and I'll mix it together, and then I'm going to put it into the roasting tin so that it can then go into the oven and cook. I like my nut roast moist. I like it moist, so I haven't dried it all out. You can see there's still a bit of juice here because I like the juice and I like it to cook nice, and I like the breadcrumbs and the nuts, and I like the cheese and everything to just cook in nicely together so that it leaves my nut roast moist. And this is what's so special about this type of nut roast, is because it will be moist, and I just wanted to share that with you. So I'm going to let this cool down for about 25 minutes before I add the mixture, and then I will come back here online with you. See you soon. Right, so now I'm going to add the beaten egg to the mix, to the nut roast. I'm going to mix that in. And then I'm going to add the breadcrumbs. Now you can add the cheese if maybe you don't like cheese. You don't have to add cheese to this, but I'm adding it because I do like the cheese section, for example, in my nut roast. And I'm also going to add my nuts. So I've got a mixture of nuts that I'm adding, because it wouldn't be a nut roast without nuts. So I'm just adding that in, and now I'm going to add the cheese, grated cheese, for example. Yum, yumbo. So it's a nice mixture, still moist. And then I'm going to add it to the tin here. So I'll just make some room. So I'm just going to add this to the tin now that I've mixed that all up, and then I will then put this into the oven. This is quite heavy. So I'm just adding that in to the roasting tin. It's like weightlifting. Okay, weightlifting in an awkward position. So just going to move this to one side. So you can see the mixture here. I'm just going to even it out a bit so that it's even on both sides. There we go. As best as I can do. And then I'm going to flatten it out into the tin, the mixture. And then I will then cook it in the oven. Just even it out a bit. And this will be delicious. It's a family favourite, this is. We actually have this during the week. We don't just have this holiday, but for those of you that are vegetarian, and it's perfect for that. If you're vegan, then obviously you would use the items that you would use for that. But there are alternatives for everyone. So there you go it. I'm going to now put this in the oven for about 25 minutes. I'm going to have a look at it, and then I will then see whether it needs to cook some more. So I will show you the finished results. See you shortly. Here you go. This is the nut roast cooked. It smells delicious, absolutely moist, and it's just beautiful inside. So that is the nut roast cooked. Bon appetit. Lovely.